All right, everybody. Welcome to our bonus episode of Raquel and Kelly Sports Talk. We are so excited to be back in the studio. We decided we're not professionals, we're polished amateurs, so we're going to go with that. So we're back in the studio for our bonus episode, and we're absolutely thrilled to be talking about Special Olympics. Woo! Oh my God. So that's how this show is going to go.
I love it.
We have a lot of excited coaches and athletes, so this is going to be a great episode. So what we're going to do is our usual. We're going to talk with our coaches first, and then we're going to bring in our Special Olympics athletes to talk about them and their sports and so on. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our two coaches to introduce themselves, how they got into where they are now with Special Olympics, and then what we need to do is we need to learn about Special Olympics. So we've got Scott MacDonald and we've got Carla Muto. So they are joining us today. And so, Scott, I'm going to ask you to start. Tell us a little bit about who you are and how you got into coaching Special Olympics. And then Carla can share the same. And then we're going to get into a conversation about what is Special Olympics.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for inviting us here, Raquel, and getting to learn about Special Olympics and being able to let everyone else, all your listeners, which I know are in the thousands right now.
Okay, you can come every day. Every day. Just come pump us up.
We're so honored to be here because this is one of the most amazing organizations out there. I got to start off by saying, can I get a dub what?
Dub P.
I said dub what?
Dub P.
That's right. Both Carla and I are from White Pines High School. And we are so blessed to be from White Pines and to have such an amazing group of students. And we are representing Special Olympics. I've been with Special Olympics, oh gosh, I'm almost afraid to say it. It's been probably
years.
It's been years. Yeah.
Years.
Okay there. It's probably been about 20 years, which makes me, 21, 22?
23.
Yeah, and I will say that Scott and I are, the same age, because we went to university just a few years ago together.
We are both young souls.
So we're both young.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's been just over 20 years, and every year that I've been involved with it has been just amazing. And you'd think that you're going to say this has been my best year yet, but every year I keep saying it because it keeps getting better and better and better. But before I get into all that, let me toss it over to my compadre over here.
Thank you, Scott. So I got into Special Olympics about 4 or 5 years ago, I believe, and it was all because of this guy right here, Scott MacDonald.
Oh, stop.
He brought me into the DARE program, and he said, you won't regret it. If you come to this trip, you won't regret it. And I thought, I have small children. I don't know if I want to go. And it was the best experience just to see the athletes, to see all the athletes around Ontario. It was just an amazing experience. And I've gone probably the last 4 or 5 times.
Correct.
And every year, like you said, we just keep looking forward to it. So it's been really great.
I mean, she said, I first said I wasn't sure I've got kids, I'm not going to go. I mean, it was a lot harder than that. It was a big fight to get her to go that first time.
Young kids,
I had
that's
to be
why.
young kids for the first time, but she got down there and saw the amazing experiences that these students have while they're down at Special Olympics.
It's because you go away too for 4 or 5 days. So
It's a long.
It's
not just a day event.
No,
Yeah.
and then the traveling and there, and I hadn't been away for a while.
Right, yeah.
But I wouldn't. I don't regret it at all. It's been
Wonderful.
great.
Okay, so now we need to know, what is Special Olympics?
Oh, Raquel, did you say we have 5 hours for this show
Yeah,
today?
so I think we might need it.
What is Special Olympics? Special Olympics is the most amazing organization, not just in Sault Ste. Marie, not just in Northern Ontario, not just in Southern Ontario. It is the most amazing organization straight across the world. Did you know that there are 72 countries across the world that are involved with Special Olympics?
I did not, but now I do.
72. It's amazing. We're talking thousands upon thousands of students that get involved with Special Olympics straight across. It's the most inclusionary, yes, that is a word.
Yeah.
Look it up. Not right now, please. Program that is out there. It's amazing because everyone that gets involved with Special Olympics feels like they have a home. Special Olympics involves students that have an intellectual disability or a physical disability. They promote, as I said, they promote inclusion, but allow sporting events to happen so everyone feels like they're on the same playing field. It doesn't matter if you're winning or losing. It doesn't matter if you make the shot or not. What matters is how much fun you have out on the court or out on the field or running down the track. And I know you hear this all the time, you know, and we've got some hockey moms here. Miss Muto's a huge hockey mom. And
we are not hockey moms, just so we're clear. Okay.
And, you know, and the first of the year, the coach is going to have that parent meeting and he's going to say, you know what, you know, we're going to train, we're going to do all this, but at the end of the day, I want you just to have fun. We know that's not true. They want to get out and win. I'm telling you, Special Olympics, it really is all about fun. You know, there's where the kids get out on the field and they're playing and they see an opposing team member trip and fall. What's happening is our players get it running right over and then helping them up. Or if they see a student coming down the field in a wheelchair that's with the soccer ball, they're giving the student that soccer ball and then, you know, helping them to score on their own nets. Like it's amazing how when the students go down, they're just there to make friends, to be a part of something huge, but really to make everybody feel like they're an elite athlete. And they really are elite athletes. You kind of asked earlier why I got involved with Special Olympics, and that question's multifaceted, but at the core of it really is simple. I've been teaching in our alternative programs for over 20 years. I started at Alexander Henry, and then once that the school closed there, brought the programs over to White Pines. But I noticed back at Alexander Henry that our students in our alternative programs, our DARE students, field school students, weren't on the school teams. They weren't making the basketball teams, the soccer teams, and that. But they still wanted to play. They still had that school spirit. They were still coming out to the games to watch the games because they wanted to be a part of it. These were students that didn't get to play organized sports in the summertime. They weren't making the teams in that, and that just didn't seem right. Special Olympics takes away every single barrier. These students get to play no matter their physical ability, no matter their intellectual disability. They get on that court and not only feel like an athlete, but be an athlete. And boy, do they ever! It's just it's amazing to see them out there and how much fun. And we'll share some stories with you of our students on the court and again what makes Special Olympics so special, so amazing is what it does for those students, but more importantly, what it does to bring the students together, to bring the staff together, to bring the community together. So many parents come out and then they just become a part of the event because you can't help but not be a part of it.
And you really see that confidence in all of the kids, you know, because it's their first time playing a sport and they're part of a team and they meet others, students or kids from all of Ontario. They just keep these friendships and it builds their confidence, and it just it's a great experience for everyone.
Wow.
And, you know, and to jump on what Ms. Muto just said, that building of confidence, we had a student in our program there who had vision impairment, and she didn't think that she could go out and play in the sports. And, you know, and we said, you know, like, get involved with Special Olympics. We'd love to have you out. And we had a basketball tournament here back, was that the fall? I guess the end of October, in and around there. And we were trying to convince the student to come out and play on the court with us. And, you know, they'd said they just didn't feel comfortable. They didn't think they could do it. And they said, well, maybe it can help you coach. And we're like, of course, yeah, come on out and coach with us. And for those first 2 games, that student was out there and she was coaching with us on the sidelines and yelling at the students. And I got to tell you, by that 3rd game, that student all of a sudden kind of at the corner of her eyes looked over at me and said, do you think I could go on the court?
Love it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And this student went out on the court in that 3rd game, and it was better than watching any Lakers dynasty game. It's got to be up there right with the Kobe Bryant moments.
Oh.
I mean, that student got out on the court and and it was fantastic. You saw the confidence go there, and we were getting right down to the wire at the end of the game, and the basketball came to the student, and saw the student with the basketball, and it was just like everyone just stopped. And they just looked, and it was just, and in one moment there was just like so much noise in that gym of everybody yelling and cheering, and then it just went silent, and everybody looked at this student, and I swear it's like a made-for-TV movie, because that student took that shot, and as I said, they had a vision impairment. And it just went up in the air, and it was like, moment frozen in time. We all just stopped and looked, and I swear there's a whole bunch of us, kind of blowing, hoping to push that ball, all of us in our minds, and lo and behold, didn't that ball hit the net and go in? Oh. And I swear to God, the whole gym
lost it.
Erupted. It was amazing, and everyone cheering, and I'm just not the one team, both teams, everyone's running up and hugging her, and it's moments like that. It's moments where I had another student that has cerebral palsy, and I remember our first soccer tournament. We were just starting with the Special Olympics, and I let the parents know we were going to be doing it, and this parent was very concerned and didn't think that the child should be out on the field playing soccer, and just because she was worried that the child would get hurt, and she'd never done sports before or anything, and I said, don't worry, it's going to be okay, and sure enough, that student got out in the field with me, and I had a couple of teachers out there helping, and I think at that time, I think they thought, I don't know, like, what's going on with this Mr. MacDonald, because he's got the sports student out there, and,
we ask that
and
all
lo
the
and behold, the student had fallen a couple of times, and they're like, oh my gosh. But I got to tell you, that student fell a couple of times, but that student also got back up.
That's right.
Every single time with the biggest smile on her face, and every time she says, I love this. And she's come down with us now for every trip down for our Special Olympics, for our tours.
And that's, you were talking about just the cheering for both teams. It's not just cheering for your own team, but when you're down there, you're cheering for everybody and giving compliments, and and then it's just, you have friends for life.
I need to come and watch.
I think I would really like to go.
Because you two probably haven't heard me in the stands, but many listeners here have. Your girl Raquel likes to cheer. I'll cheer for everybody. I'll cheer for anybody. I'm very loud. And when it's socially acceptable to be loud and rowdy, I'm in. So I love cheering, and I love the concept of cheering for both sides and cheering for everybody.
You would have such a great time, because Special
I'm
Olympics
ready to
Ontario
go.
puts on a great opening ceremonies. It's huge closing ceremonies. I feel like we're at the Olympics, it's amazing.
Well, and that's just, you just said it. I mean, number one thing you'd love about coming to cheer is every competition we have at the end, it just inevitably breaks out into a big dance party.
Okay, then I'm so
Raquel is in.
Raquel is in.
Everybody's up dancing in the gym, and then they've just played sports all day long, and now we're dancing for the rest of the game.
I don't think that just sounds like perfection.
Well, it is.
Like absolute perfection.
Sports, dancing, does it get any better?
No.
Does
it get any better? Yeah.
But to jump back to what Carla was saying about the Special Olympics, so we have competitions throughout the year, and this year we had bocce, soccer, and basketball, and those are called our provincial qualifiers.
Okay.
And then we involve all the high schools within Sault Ste. Marie and Lang area. So we had St. Mary's, and we had Cora, Superior Heights, and we had Cass come in for our events too. And it was great to have all those students in from the different schools, and they'll submit a few teams in. So it really does become like a huge sporting event, and so we involve the whole school in our event. So when the students arrive, we have our leadership group, our phys ed students. They come out and they build. We have this big, what we call the gauntlet, and when the students come off the bus, all of our senior students, our athletes and all that, start cheering for them. So they're coming in and they've got to kind of go through this gauntlet where everybody's cheering and yelling, music's playing, and we gather them into the main foyer. Then we have a nice kind of opening ceremony where we do a couple of speeches and we do some chants and cheers, and then we get into the athlete's oath, which we'll get into too. So it's just those students coming in. Again, it's just like for them, it's like are just entering into a rock concert. It's that wild, and it's that great because they're so excited. They feel the energy as they walk in, and they feel like, okay, we're in big times now.
And they feel included.
Exactly. Yeah, and they the sports go. We get them out playing, and as I said, like it's for every student in our school, and not just our school, like St. Mary's, Cora, Spear Heights, and Cass. When those students come in, and whether those students come in a wheelchair, they come in with a walker, they come in with an aide, they come in with an interpreter, anything like that, they're coming in, they all feel like part of a team. And it's just, it's amazing to see that camaraderie happening and come together.
All right, we did actually have some questions.
We've answered some of them.
But we've answered some of them, yeah. So Kelly, hit us with a question we haven't answered yet.
My apologies.
So,
That's okay.
Who always gets
No,
off on a
it's good.
tangent.
So we talked about the sports that Sault Ste. Marie athletes do participate in, but are the sports adapted? And if so, how?
Fantastic question. Yeah, the sports are adapted. So first off, our basketball. For the basketball, we usually play half court.
Okay.
And some will be shortened periods. And again, like for our students that may have that physical disability or that intellectual disability, it can be, having extended time can be difficult, so we try and keep the timing a bit short between the periods for them. But that's, for the basketball, that's pretty much the accommodation is just the timing and the half court. For soccer, the nets are not as big.
Okay.
So the nets are smaller. And then for bocce...
And the field, too, is not as
in
big.
the field, yeah, like half, I think half field.
Half, yeah.
And then for the bocce that we play also, it is, some of you, Sioux's a great bocce town.
Yeah.
And usually if you head out to the Marconi or Esquire, the outdoor bocce clubs, you'll find the bocce balls are, I think they're
Heavy.
They're heavy, yes.
And that, and I'll show you. Sorry for you listeners, but
There's
maybe Raquel
props.
can give her creative, descriptive skills. But these are our bocce balls here.
Okay, so you know what they look like? They look like a soccer ball,
Yeah.
They do.
but small.
A little soccer ball.
A
yeah.
little soccer
Like a
ball.
tennis ball size.
And a little bit bigger than
Like a
a
softball.
tennis ball, or, yeah, they're about the size of a
Yeah.
softball. And they're definitely lighter. I have played bocce. They're significantly lighter than a hard bocce ball. So these are not hard.
Exactly.
They're more soft, like a soccer ball would be. Okay, yeah.
And
So
because of
easier
that-
to throw
Easier
because there's
to
not so
throw.
much weight.
Exactly.
Right.
And you'll see with some of our players that come in, we have players of all varying abilities, and whether it's a player in a wheelchair, a player with physical disabilities that may not have the stamina to hold one of the heavy balls, anyone can play the sport, regardless of your ability, your disability, regardless of your age. It is for everyone, and the best thing too is that because though it's still a bit heavy and it's soft, you can play it indoors.
Yeah. So are those considered like regulation then? Like,
Those are regulation, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
that's neat.
And so those are three. We're starting a new sport, which is called floorball. So it's a combination of floor hockey, and we use a wiffle ball with a sport. So
Okay.
we're just
Okay.
starting that.
That's
sport, so we're
exciting.
super excited about that as well.
Yeah, and that will be like done in a gym, like how you would do ball
Correct.
hockey in a gym?
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
like not ice, more like ball hockey,
No,
yeah.
yeah.
Cool. So you've alluded to, but I think we really need to talk about, what is this upcoming event in June?
Oh,
Yes,
Okay.
go ahead.
Because this is big.
it's huge. All right, so
Yeah.
we had the provincial qualifiers here, and White Pines bocce team and soccer team have qualified to go down to Chatham, Kent, which is outside of Windsor. We were going down there for the Ontario Provincial Championships.
Awesome.
Every year, the Ontario Provincial Championships are held, and it's in a different spot every year. Last year, we qualified and we went down to Kingston. The year before that was Toronto, then Peterborough.
That's
Well,
where
that's
I
far for
started.
our athletes.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, last year was Kingston. So I want you to picture
Yeah.
this.
Kingston is far.
Kingston
Yeah.
is far.
It is far.
We took 15 students last year on a bus that had no air conditioning.
Oh, no.
No plug.
In June.
No Wi-Fi.
Oh,
in
no.
June.
Oh, no.
And we were on that bus. It's got to be, what, 12 hours?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least 10.
Yeah.
At least 10, if not longer.
Longer.
And it was a long ride, but I'm going to tell you, those kids are going to tell you it was the ride of their lifetime.
We were
of course,
singing.
DJ got out and we started.
Okay.
DJ Scott. DJ Scott.
I'm in. Like, I'm ready to be involved with Special Olympics. Like, you have sold this to me.
But yeah, so like this year, we're headed to Chatham-Kent.
Yeah.
We'll be taking a bus down. We've made a request now for a little bit, higher bus. And it's going to be a lot easier this time because we can go through the state. So it'll
Right.
be as long
Yes.
as a bus ride.
Yes.
Which the kids are like, they're like, oh, but we liked the long bus ride before. So that's still kind of cool. But so we'll be down there. We'll be down there for about 4 days. And where they're housing us in hotels, the university there and the residents. There's probably going to be about 4,500 athletes
Holy
that are going to be at this
smokes.
event.
Do the parents go with you, or do support people
Great
go with
question.
you?
No, and I know there's going to be this one parent that as soon as she hears this radio show, she is going to be screaming at her radio and saying, "I said I wanted to go."
Oh, they can't go.
You know who you are. I tell you this for the kids, and we purposely kind of have just kind of the coaches going down with the kids because for the first time, this is for pretty much everyone of them, this is their first time away on the road.
Yeah.
Our program is all about building independence. We
Yes,
wanna build that
I fully
independence with our
understand
kids.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And probably one of the greatest things that happens, and it's not even about the sport. It's the independence that grows in these kids. And you have, like, we had one student last year.
Oh, we had a few.
Well, a few, yeah.
Right at the last second, I have an appointment. I can't go. You could tell they were getting a little
Getting
bit
nervous.
which
And fair
I
enough.
would too.
Fair
First,
enough.
I was
Yeah.
nervous
Yeah,
the
that
first
was
time
her.
I went. No. And now you have it this year where it's like, when are we going? I really want to go. Are we going to go? They just needed that first experience.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a few
We did.
students.
That first day is always the toughest day. The
Yeah.
homesickness and everything.
Yeah.
But like, by the end of it, like our one student last year, and her mom she texted me, we weren't even in Garden River yet.
Oh,
I love
bless.
it.
How is everything?
You know who you are.
You know who you are. You know what?
Exactly. And I'm like, wow, this is going to be a long trip. But this student then, because she was so worried, this is the first time a student had ever been away on her own. She's like, oh, it's going to be so tough. This student at the end called her mom and told her mom that she didn't want to leave. She wanted to stay in Kingston.
Yeah.
She had her own room down there, and she was loving the independence.
Yeah. So
it's
parents
growth.
listening, we totally can understand how it would be hard to let go, and you're nervous and excited. But I can tell you, these two people right here are going to take fantastic
Yes.
care of your
Without a
your
doubt.
athlete.
Without
And
a doubt.
we got
Without
to
a
give a shout out
doubt.
to Randy Moss and Tammy Caswell as well. They're our supports in the classroom, our EAs, and they'll be coming on the trip with us
Nice.
as well.
As
Good.
coaches, yeah.
I mean,
Good.
nothing happens without our EAs and
Oh,
our interpreters.
absolutely.
Brent Haig, you
Yep.
know you are.
It takes a village.
Amazing.
It takes a
does.
village. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, just to jump back to that, the tournament. It really is done up right. Like, you go in, they have the torch run. So it's and I don't know if you've seen it. It comes through. It's a law enforcement torch run that goes straight across Ontario. And they should actually be coming through the soon. They carry this torch straight across Ontario and then line it up right as when the Special Olympics start. And they come running in and they light this huge cauldron that's the same size as the one at the Olympics. And you've got all these athletes in it, and you hear, like, all of a sudden the music just starts.
And there's live music,
Live
everything,
music,
yeah.
And you're looking around, and all of a sudden you see just the top of the torch coming through the running. And then just the excitement, the kids screaming and waiting for this torch to come in. And when that cauldron gets lit and that flame goes up, I'm getting goosebumps right now, I'm telling you. It's so overpowering. And then they have, like, their guest speakers. They do it up right. Every student there feels like this is their moment to shine.
And it is their moment to shine.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is it televised at all? Like, can you catch it anywhere?
Yeah, so they usually what will happen is they'll have live streaming on the internet there, so we'll give all the parents a link. And
Yeah, I think Sioux Sports needs to be sharing that link on their Sioux Sports page too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But and the competition, and I'm not going to say, like I said, it's all about having fun, and it truly is. But The competition is amazing too. The athletes out there, like, they are phenomenal athletes. They really are. But they're phenomenal athletes with love and care for each other. So
Which is really what you'd want every athlete to have, right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I love it.
Wow.
How do you keep them motivated, the athletes?
Well, that's a great question.
Yeah.
The harder job is probably keeping this Muto motivated, but usually it's chocolate and donuts. But
With some coffee thrown in.
For me.
how do you keep the students motivated? Great question. And it's actually the students themselves that keep them motivated, because it's our students from the previous year who've gone on the trip, who participated in Special Olympics.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
like saying, "What is it happening?" So they build that excitement with the other students, and they're like, "What is the Special Olympics that you're talking about?"
Yeah.
So our best advocates, our best sellers, are the kids themselves.
Nice.
Which is phenomenal.
It'll be the first week of school, and they're saying, "So when is the Special Olympics?" And we don't even know yet. But you're right. It's like the grade 10s will tell the grade 9s, the grade 11s, all of them.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
That's awesome. Is there any cost for the parents or the?
I'm so glad you asked that question.
I was curious this whole
Full of
time.
great questions.
Oh, because we're polished amateurs. We're polished
I've been
amateurs.
thinking about it. I thought I'm just gonna ask.
You know what? Forget TSN. This is where it's at. I'm telling you right now. Is there any cost to Special Olympics? Well, I was telling you earlier about the torch run. And this is what's amazing about Special Olympics is that one of our biggest advocates are the police officers.
I had no idea.
They put their lives on the line every single day, and they are absolutely amazing. But they have made Special Olympics their true charity of choice, and they have raised so much money for our athletes over the years, which helps with uniforms, with equipment, but running these events like the Special Olympics down in Chatham, Kent. Also, and I got to give a shout out to Rico Fata and his Tim Hortons establishment.
Oh, yes.
Those specialty donuts.
Yes.
We had the most amazing time this year. We had called up Rico and asked about getting involved with the Special Olympics donuts that they were doing, and I mean, of course, he jumped right on board and thought it was an amazing idea. And he goes, "You know what? We want your kids to come in. We want them to work behind the counter."
Love it.
Our students got to go in and feel like what it's like to have a job. They were out giving out orders and everything. It was just, it was
great,
amazing.
yeah.
But all those proceeds, that's 100% of their profits go to Special Olympics.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's a lot of fundraising like that happens, and we do fundraising throughout the year to help our local athletes and that as well.
So for most students, then, the fundraising is going to cover the majority of it.
And
right?
that's
Yeah.
the biggest selling feature.
Travel, accommodations.
Like I'm thinking
this
a bus,
trip here.
Yeah.
accommodations
And for
me.
4 days.
Like I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
funding like that they have raised, so for our kids to go down to Chatham Kent for the 4 days,
Yep.
the busing, everything, that's all paid through Special Olympics.
Wow,
That's
that's
amazing.
awesome.
So
That's
again, we
amazing.
talk about getting rid of every single barrier.
Yes.
There's another
That's
barrier.
a huge
that is a
barrier.
barrier.
It is a huge
Yeah.
barrier. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you think too, like with and you know with Special Olympics, like a lot of our kids, whether it's intellectual disability, physical disability, there are so many costs and
Of course.
medical expenses.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
if we can take that other expense away, it's
Absolutely.
It's huge.
That is
That's
huge.
amazing.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
is a great reminder to everyone in our community when these things are happening. Get out to Tim Hortons and get those donuts
Buy
because
those
they
donuts.
are literally being used in our community, right? And-
Absolutely are,
And
yes.
so that is wonderful. And who doesn't love a donut? So,
Don't.
okay, well, some of us can't eat gluten, but I'll smell the donut.
And then just that last thing, I got to show you again. So this was our trip down to Toronto, where we won silver medal.
Nice.
Our championship game was against a team in Nova Scotia, from Nova Scotia.
What sport was that?
It was soccer. It was a nail biter, I gotta tell you.
It was. Questionable calls, but
Okay, and I'm looking at the clock and we're running out of time and you guys are just like bringing out more things to talk about.
Everybody talks about Muto being this very calm person and never yells. Well, there was a whole different side of her on that
Okay.
on that field that day, my friends. It was a blustery day. You know when they say that the sea was wild that day? So was Miss Muto. It was, but it was great. We played this team from Nova Scotia, and it went into triple overtime.
Oh my goodness, that's a
Triple
nail biter for
overtime.
sure.
That's why I couldn't
Yeah.
contain myself.
Yes.
We got a goal at the end, and it's I'm not gonna say it, but it was not allowed.
Yeah.
That was one of the calls, but it was great, and at the end of it, again, the kids just came onto the court and were best friends. And some of these kids still talk to today.
Nice.
That's, like
That's
5
the
years
thing.
ago.
Oh, good.
That's
With
the
the
thing.
internet, things like that.
Yes.
These are the
Look at this
These are
medal.
beautiful. So listeners, you
I think
can't see
he's
it,
got
but it
one.
literally
He's
looks
got
like an
one.
Olympic medal. It's on a beautiful ribbon. It's silver. International Youth Games. There's a bronze one.
Maybe we can put pictures up.
We can put some pictures up for sure. Yeah, they look just like a medal from the Olympics. Fantastic. So I think that's a great way to end our segment. We told you at the beginning that this time would fly by, and we've talked for now 30 minutes,
It's got MacDonald.
right? Mr. MacDonald has a lot to say.
The kids.
So what we're going to do is we're going to pause our portion. We are going to bring in these athletes, and they're excited. They're behind a door right now, and I can hear them. They're excited. And we're going to get set up, and then we're going to get the microphones back on, and we're going to get to talk to these amazing athletes. So thank you to the both of you for coming in, for driving athletes here, for sharing this with us. And I just feel that these athletes are in the best hands with the two of you.
Yeah.
Well, we
Thank
can't
you.
thank the three of you enough. What an amazing experience this was for us, and truly we thank you so much for allowing us to have this platform to tell you about Special
Oh my
Olympics.
gosh, an athlete is an athlete. Like,
Absolutely.
absolutely, it's important that we do this. So we're going to sign off. We're going to get the athletes in, and we're going to get the microphones turned back on in a minute. Okay.
Hi, listeners. We're back with the Raquel and Kelly Sports Talk Show, and we are so excited. We're joined with, I'm counting around the table, 6 athletes from the Special Olympics, and they tell us they're all from White Pines. So we're excited to learn about who they are and what sports they play, and I'm just going to really pass it over because I think this is going to take some time, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
So let's go. I don't know who wants to go first.
Hi, I'm Keegan. I play for White Pines and I'm on the soccer team. I'm a forward.
Do you play bocce as well?
No,
Just soccer? Okay. Next, grab the microphone. Put the microphone close to your mouth. There we go. What's your name and what sport do you do in Special Olympics?
Hi, I'm Sky, and I play soccer.
All right. You can pass the microphone on.
Hi, I'm Cameron. I play bocce.
Wonderful. I'm glad you're here, Cameron. Okay, pick up the microphone there in front of you. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Colin. I'm from White Pines. I play bocce.
Wonderful. We're glad you're here, Colin. Next.
Hi, my name's Isabel and I play bocce.
All right, and our last athlete around the table.
Hi, my name is Michaela, and I will be playing the soccer team this year.
Great. So we've got bocce players and we've got soccer players, but no basketball players in this group, right? There was not in this group now. Okay. So
I wish.
yeah, okay, maybe for next year, right? That's something to work forward to. Okay, so I'm going to ask a question, and the first question I'm going to ask is, what would you want somebody to know about Special Olympics? Many of our listeners don't know very much about it, so we want to hear from you because you are the experts and the athletes, and I think Izzy would like to answer this question first, but we can have more than one person answer it. So, Izzy, what would you like our listeners to know about Special Olympics?
I want everyone to know that because people with disabilities sometimes feel like that they don't play sports, but I feel like Special Olympics makes people think, like people with disabilities know that there is always a sport that you can play even if you have a disability, and it makes people with disability know that there's actually a sport that you can play.
That's a great answer. Does anyone else want to answer that question? Michaela?
It's basically a sport, like a fun event for people with a bunch of disabilities like autism and all that, so they can have a chance to be in something special.
Great answer. Anyone else want to answer that question? Yeah?
It's also helpful for kids that need help when they're playing sports and that they don't know what they're doing, and you help them out and all that. So.
Great. Did anyone else want to answer it? No? And that's okay. No? Okay. Kelly, what question would you like to ask?
Do each of you or any of you remember the first time that you played your sport and how you felt?
Okay, this is a good question. I see lots of nods and some hands going up, so we might get everyone talking for this one. Okay, Keegan, you go first because you're beside me. I'll pass the microphone.
I felt pretty nervous the first time I've ever played it. I didn't really know what I was doing at first, and then I caught on to everything what Mr. MacDonald and Miss Muto really taught us what to do. So, hope you do good this year, so, yeah.
Did you love it the first time you played it?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Okay, who else would like to answer this? Who remembers the first time they played?
I do.
Okay, tell us about it. Yeah.
I played bocce and it was really fun. I played bocce and it was really fun, and it just Mr. Mack and Miss Muto said just go for it, and everybody just had fun.
Good. I like that attitude of just go for it. I think someone here would like to answer.
I played bocce too. I really liked it. Yep.
Yeah. Anyone else want to share the first time they played their sport?
I played soccer and it was tough, but I learned to get a hold of the game.
Good. And soccer is a very physical game, right? There's a lot of moving around, even if it's on a smaller field.
It is.
Who got hit in soccer?
I did.
Oh, no.
Did you keep playing?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
I also, when we were playing one of the games, I accidentally ran into the refs on accident. I accidentally, and I also broke my finger playing soccer when we were at Superior. So it was a couple months I had to wait for it to heal. So now it's perfectly fine now.
Oh my goodness! So
we were also practicing at Superior, and I was also the goalie. So I figured that out when the ball hit my finger pretty hard in impact when I had the gloves on. So
I like that spirit. You were giving it all on the field, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great feeling. Anyone else remember the first time they played their sport? Izzy?
My first time playing bocce was last year when we were down in Kingston. And it was actually, I thought I wouldn't be good at it, but then apparently I was, because it was kind of my first time playing it. I just was like, I know what to do, but I don't know how good I am. So, yeah.
Good. All right, Cameron's going to tell us about his first time.
I played bocce my first time. I was a bit nervous, but I got over it and actually felt pretty good, and had fun doing it.
Who was chosen the best bocce player overall, Cameron? Last competition.
I was.
That was Cameron.
Cameron, congratulations! That's fantastic. Okay, so I have a question about bocce. So on our radio show, we talked about a lot of sports played in high school. So we talked about soccer, and we talked about basketball, and things like wrestling, and oh goodness, cross-country skiing and volleyball and football, but we never talked about bocce. So, would anyone like to tell us how you play bocce, just in case there's somebody listening who doesn't know how to play? Anyone think they could explain it? Sure.
You just fold the ball with your hand. Yep. Yeah, the ballina with your hand.
Okay, so you throw the polina. That's the little white ball, right? What's it called? Bellini. Bellini.
Throw the other ball.
Okay, finish explaining. Yep.
And then you throw the other balls, and then whoever gets closest wins, and that's the point. And then you just move on over and over and over.
Okay, so I have another question about bocce. Do you play this as an individual player, or do you play this as a team?
It's team.
Team. So it's a team of 2 or 3 or 4?
It could be a team of 5.
Okay.
You can also play in like threes and against each other. You can do like one-on-ones, basically. Any team you want, you can do a team of 3 or 4, or you can do a 4-on-3. So it's pretty simple.
Okay, so it's usually a team, though. You don't usually play this individually.
And are you throwing the ball at
So
something?
you have to throw the colored ball at the Bellini, which is that thing right there.
The white one.
The white ball, yes. So whoever's closest gets a point, and then you move on to the next round, and then it continues on and on to see who wins.
And how many points do you need to get to win? Or is
doesn't-
it in
doesn't-
time? Like, how does it
doesn't-
work?
It doesn't really matter. You just have to get up to a certain score. Like if you get up to 20, you win the game.
So it's usually 20 points.
Or
if it's a
20
time, we have
Time.
like
It depends.
Okay.
It depends on the time and what score you get up to. So if you get your color, if you get 30, you can go and you win. If you're nowhere near the Bellini, then the other team goes.
Okay.
And they also have boundaries set up. So we do the indoor bocce, and we'll have 4 courts going at one time. So we'll have 4 games going at once where we have a boundary set up. So if the ball goes out of that boundary, then it's out of bounds.
0 points.
They need to shoot again.
Okay. I just realized I didn't set my timer when we started. Good gracious. Oops. That's okay. We're going to be fine. Okay, so your teachers and coaches told us about this amazing event that's coming up in June. And yes, and I can tell how excited everybody is. So my first question is, and we can ask everyone this, is did you attend this last year? And if you did, what was the best thing about it? So let's ask that question first. Okay, they're so excited, listeners. They are so excited. I think everyone's going to talk. So we all make sure, remember, one person, one microphone. Everyone's going to get a turn. So I want you to tell me what sport you competed in last year, and then what was the best thing about it. And we'll pass the microphones around. Do you want to start?
So a favorite part of going down to Chatham was also the bus ride there and back.
You mean Kingston?
Kingston was last year.
Sorry, Kingston, yes. The bus ride was pretty fun. We had a lot of fun time on the bus, and also the music and stuff, which we would thank Mr. MacDonald.
It sounds like he's a good DJ.
Shout out to Mr. MacDonald and that music.
Nice. All right, let's pass the microphone. Let's hear from everybody on this. So what sport did you do, and what was the best thing about it? Last year, going to Kingston.
I played bocce last year, and the best part about Kingston is the party, the 80s dance.
Oh, the 80s dance.
80s
Fun.
dance.
I'm ready to go on the bus with you because this event sounds amazing. So was the 80s dance, was this for everybody, like at the end?
All the people that competed.
All the people that competed.
Everybody that went down. There are at least like 1,000 or more.
There were a lot.
Okay, let's pass the microphone on. Okay, shh.
I played bocce last year. It was a good fun trip. I really enjoyed it. Well, my first year I was a bit nervous, but then I got over it. And really enjoyed myself at the 80s dance and had a good trip all together.
Wonderful. All right, our next athlete.
I played a basketball last year in Kingston.
You did?
That's okay.
He was bouncing the bocce balls, and it seemed like a basketball game by the time.
We'll go with that. And what was the best thing about it?
Oh, I liked going to the mall, spend $55 on Zalmots.
I'm gonna for anyone just to jump in. We that last year was when the forest fires were happening, like straight across Ontario.
Right.
And Kingston got hit with the smoke so bad that the one day they had to cancel the day of our games. Right. So then we kind of sat and said, well, what are we going to do? And we have been working on teaching the kids here how to ride the city bus. So we, in
great
partnership
skill.
with the city of Sault Ste. Marie, who are amazing, they had given us bus passes to learn how to ride the city bus in town. So when that day we're like, well, where should we go? Then the kids are like, well, let's go to the mall. We already know how to ride a city bus. It's got to be the same in Kingston. So we went to the mall. But Colin found the old school Zellers.
Oh.
And he bought a Zellers sweatshirt, all old Zeller stuff. It was amazing.
Colin, that's awesome.
He's an old soul.
That's so exciting. All right. Okay, so Izzy, tell us about when you went last year. What sport did you do, and what was the best thing about it?
I played bocce last year. Was actually really fun. I will definitely say that. And the bus ride was the funnest part, I will definitely say. And just sitting in rooms, like in my room with my friends and stuff like that was really fun. Just hanging out and stuff like that. And yeah, that and it was my first time going away with my away for a few days with my class, because I used to live down south, and my class didn't really do anything like that. But since I moved to the zoo, I love all the things that we do. So when we went down, it was actually really fun.
Wonderful. All right, Michaela, did you go last year?
Yes, I did. I played soccer last year, and my favorite part was mostly everything, even though it was very tough for me to go without my grandparents for the first time. It was really amazing. We got to go to the mall, and I got to experience my first time in a Hot Topic. It was fun. But also at the same time, yes, we did get hit with the smoke and all that from the forest fire, and it caused a lot of stress on me. But it was really worth it in the end.
Good for you. That's a great answer.
I got to jump in just for one second.
Absolutely.
I apologize. One thing I truly want to mention is the bravery of these students, the determination of them, and Michaela just kind of touched on it a bit, but Michaela's right. Michaela she had so much fear about going down and going away from home, and she talked about students with autism, with anxiety, things like that.
Yeah.
She overcame so much and became this rock star down there. We couldn't be prouder of all that she's accomplished. All of them have accomplished so much, and again, it's that bravery, that determination. They're truly amazing.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right, Kelly, do you have a question? I do. Oh, sorry. Oh, gosh, I got over water bottles.
How often are you practicing? So the other teams we've talked to, they're meeting every night, they're doing practices in the gym. What does practice look like for you guys? And do you have drills that you like or that you don't like? Keegan's got his hand up here.
I got one.
Oh, you've got one.
So part of the practicing is that you got to do stretches before each and every game, and that's pretty much what I do every practice for. And I had a practice tonight too, so.
Oh, okay.
For a bunch of other sports I've played, so you definitely got to get the stretching in before each game. Talk with your teammates.
Do you have a least favorite drill or
probably,
exercise?
Probably open the gate.
Well, I don't know what that is.
You open your leg to the side. That's called open the gate.
It's a stretch,
It's a stretch, yes.
Oh. To stretch your hips.
You stretch your hips out, yeah. So it's basically, it's my least favorite for when I played football for White Pines.
Oh, okay. Does anybody else want to answer that question? No?
For bocce, I would just say, what I usually do is I just talk positive to the team that I'm doing, that I'm with.
Yeah.
Saying, hey guys, we're going to win, we're going to do really good, and I just talk positive to the team I'm with.
Pep talk,
Pretty much, so.
That's excellent.
Because it's bocce, sometimes go outside at school and we practice.
I have a question. So my question is this. You're going to be going to Special Olympics to represent Sault Ste. Marie in June, right? So not very far away. Yep. 2 weeks? 3? No, because we're only beginning May. No. Yeah, 3 weeks. Yeah. Okay. So my question is, what do you find about, what's exciting or interesting or even a little bit scary about meeting athletes that are not from Sault Ste. Marie? Because I can tell that all of you have a very good relationship. You all know each other very well. You've been competing together for a while. You practice together. So I can tell you all have a really good relationship and know each other very well. But what is it like to meet athletes from other cities or maybe even not even Ontario? Does anyone else want to answer that question? Sure.
It's definitely new to meet new people that you haven't met before, and it's definitely true to introduce yourself to new people when you play against people in different parts of the world. I'm sorry, I almost burped there, sorry. I almost burped there. So it's definitely new to meet new people around the world, and I'll pass it back over.
Sure. Yeah, Michaela.
It's interesting to meet new people because it's like you don't know them, but then you end up learning a little bit about them after. And it's like making new friends and stuff.
Yeah. Anyone else? Sure. How do you handle meeting all the new people? Yeah, go ahead, answer the question. Yep.
It's fun meeting new people because it's different than us, and they are just better to make new friends. It's fun.
Yeah? Anyone else?
Yeah.
Cameron, did you want to talk about somebody you met?
Colin, Jesus.
Well, on the 80s night, checking me out.
Okay, I wasn't able to hear that.
Say that again, Ken.
Can you say it again, Cameron?
I guess there's a girl checking me out.
A girl checking you out?
At the time, I didn't realize it till after. So I guess this year, if I see her again, I'll make sure to look this time.
I think you should. I think you should look and smile and say hello. And be brave. That's right. That's very exciting. Okay. That's extremely exciting. Yes. Okay, so our time together is pretty much over. I know it went so fast, didn't it? Yeah. So is there anything that anyone would like to say about Special Olympics that they didn't get the chance to say? Something about something you like about it, anything that you want to share that we didn't get a chance?
I like going to Special Olympics because me and my friend man would like go to the stalls and stuff and sing songs and stuff.
That's a great answer.
What I'm very excited for Chatham is that it's going to be another whole different place that we can go to, and I'm very excited to go this year because it's fun to get out of Sault Ste. Marie.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
And okay, go ahead.
No, I could verify with the teacher first. It's so funny when we laughed at.
All right, sorry, we just got a little distracted there. We're going to get back onto topic. I think Michaela has something she would like to say.
What was the question?
Is there anything about Special Olympics you want to share that you didn't get a chance to share?
It was really fun at Special Olympics. You get to learn a lot. And it does help people with social anxiety too. If they have a comfort item they bring with them, it basically makes them feel safe.
Great. Anyone else? We have one last question for everybody that we always ask all of our athletes. Okay, go ahead.
Special Olympics is something fun to do and get out there. It's a good opportunity to do.
Great.
And finally, Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum. We sang that song on the bus.
Okay. Well, it is a great song. Okay. Okay. So we have asked every single athlete who has been on our show to finish with giving a very special shout out or thank you to someone who has supported them in their sport. So that person could be a coach, it could be a teacher, it could be your parent, it could be a friend, whoever that you would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to somebody who has supported you. So we're going to have everybody's going to get the chance. They're so excited, everybody. Everybody's going to get the chance because this is really important. We always want to give special thanks to those people in our lives, okay? So, yeah, go ahead, Izzy, take that one. We'll start with you, and we're going to go around the table, okay?
Big shout out to Miss Muto and Mr. MacDonald. Big shout out.
Next.
I like to shout out to Mr. Mac and Miss Muto and my cousin.
Nice.
I'd like to shout out to my parents, my friends, and my brother.
Nice.
I would like to shout out my mom, my stepdad, Mr. MacDonald, my friend Maynard, Mr. Alfano, Moro,
Colin, what about me?
Keegan.
Okay, next.
I want to give a big shout out to Mr. MacDonald and Miss Muto and all my really good friends.
Wonderful. Yeah. Michaela?
I would like to give a shout out to my grandparents for allowing me to do the Special Olympics. I want to give a big shout out to Mr. MacDonald for encouraging me to do it.
And me.
Yes, and you, Skylar. Yes,
Wonderful.
you too, Keegan.
Yeah.
And having people encourage me from TikTok.
TikTok? That's a whole nother show. All right, so I want to give a shout out to all of you. You guys are amazing athletes, and I wish you great success, of course, in June when you go to Chatham. I hope you have a lot of fun. I hope you're brave. I hope you show up, give it your all, and I hope there's another 80s dance party.
It'll be a different number.
Oh, different number. Is it 90s? Maybe there'll be a 90s.
It could be 80s, it could be 90s.
70s disco.
Whoa.
The what?
Dopey!
The what?
Dopey!
The what?
Dopey!
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. Kelly, anything you want to say to close off?
I might be making a road trip to Chatham.
We're going to go. I think we all need a road trip to Chatham. Thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you great success. Mr. MacDonald, do you have a closing remark?
We just want to thank you guys again for allowing us to come here and share. And we just have a couple of parting little presents for our team.
Oh, really?